for joining me for this weekly general reading for the period of July 14th, which is actually my former boss's birthday. My boss for almost 22 years. Anyway, it goes through July 20th. That's the last day for which this reading is, next Saturday. And I appreciate you joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you are not yet subscribed, and do so, please consider doing so. And if you do, make sure that you check off all the subscription button, the bell, and any other thing that you could possibly check to ensure that you receive the notifications that you wish to for this channel, because we've got a huge problem on this channel with notifications, where those who have subscribed sometimes find that they are no longer, and they never unsubscribe themselves. And further to that, we have a problem with notifications not being sent out, so people having no idea that I've published anything, and I have to go around social media when I'm able, if I'm able, and make an announcement on my my own accord. Hey, I posted a video, so that people will come and join me for the premiere when I premiere the videos. And that's kind of difficult, because if I'm premiering a video, then I want to be there to talk to you guys about the video. And sometimes I even do more than that. People take the opportunity that they're there with me to say, Queen, what do you see about this issue that I'm having, this thing I'm going through in my relationship, in my life, or whatever. And I'll take the time to do that too. It's basically like a little mini read for free, but I do it. Or general questions that, about the journey that people don't understand. Like, I'll do my best to answer them and educate them in that area that they're seeking. So it's a little hard for me to also be going around. I'm on Twitter now posting something, I'm on IG posting, I'm on Facebook posting, maybe even on YouTube I'm posting a picture of me saying I have a video. It's kind of crazy. So I do desperately need you guys' help to make sure that your subscription is intact, and that you're set to receive all the notifications that you wish. And that if you're not, to say to YouTube, or join me in saying to YouTube, because I've said it on your behalf before, and they've sent me all kinds of stupid letters about how they're looking into it and blah blah blah. But you could actually tell them, listen, I'm experiencing this, I want to receive her videos and I'm not. And maybe we can make some headway together, but I'm not making much on my own, and so it's very difficult for me to try to do it all. To make the video, post the video, premiere the video, talk to you about the video, talk to you about your life, and do these postings. So I desperately need your help and support in liking, sharing, and subscribing. So please do continue. I thank you, those of you who already do. I appreciate it. Welcome new people. That's what goes on here. All right, on that note, I just wanted to mention quickly, because I posted something on Facebook the other day, and I mentioned the word twin flame, or the twin flame journey, and I got a couple of questions subsequently, about people that were, or from people who, I guess, have been confused about the journey, or like I gave them a reason to question something. So anyway, the post was about John Brown. So if you don't know who he was an abolitionist, a revolutionary abolitionist that basically gave his life fighting slavery. A white man, like a white, not to the extent of Nat Turner, but similar, like a similar fight. It can't be to the extent, because Nat Turner himself was a slave and was a black man, so it can't be the same. But this guy put his life on the line too, and he was, literally fighting slavery, like with his hands. So I put up a post, and somebody said, how sad it was that he had to witness the death of his two sons, and that he had been hanged, and of course I agreed. How could you not? But I said, the slaves suffered far worse. Babies had literally been cut from women's wombs and sold away. I mean, just really horrific things done to the slaves. So she went on to say, she knew, but like he didn't have to. They had to endure that because they were slaves, but he didn't have to. He sort of signed up for it. And that is true too. And you cannot take that away from him, nor should you. That's why I posted it. I want people to know that he existed, and to give him his recognition in history and respect and all of that. But at the same time, we can't lose sight of the fact that the atrocity of slavery and what was done to black people in this country that's supposed to be, free, was created, built on freedom from persecution and from enslavement and just freedom, period. That's not what my ancestors, many of us, here, some of you who are watching, so that's not what our ancestors experienced, and it has to be recognized also, and we got to face the truth, and that is what this journey is about. It is about truth. That's what the age of Aquarius is about. It is about truth. It is about freedom. That's what Aquarius itself is about. Truth and freedom and humanity. Right? The sign of Aquarius is the great humanitarian. And so I went on to say pretty much just that. I said, yeah, I agree with you that he didn't have to, but we're actually all supposed to. So, like, maybe if we did, we wouldn't have to give such emphasis, to put such emphasis on one person, because it would be normalcy for us to stand up for other people, right? I said we're all supposed to be willing to give of ourselves, give our lives for the sake of humanity, to be soldiers, crusaders, and allowing fear, ego, and greed to get in the way of that is what has led this planet to where it is now. The scriptures say that not all will taste death, but most of us will die at some point. It should be for something, if we can help it. Everyone wants to be a twin flame or Jesus reincarnated or something, but without the sacrifice. Okay, you know what it means to be Jesus? It means to give your life, not to just walk around with long hair acting like a hippie, saying, sweet things like be good to each other or even be excellent to each other, That's not enough. Jesus put his life on the line, if you believe in that. John Brown, I almost said Jim Brown, he's a football player. John Brown put his life on the line. I put my life on the line always for this journey. I've been under tremendous attack since I started my channel, both spiritually and in the 3D too, literally. I've been slandered. I've had people try to shut down my channel. Demons, of course. These are people from the dark. I told a story recently on, I don't know what video it was, but one of the weeklies or maybe one of the moon readings, I talked about the one woman, I was searching for a word, but I'll be nice, really started a whole campaign against me that I was trying to kill her, spiritually, because I am, basically like Lilith, Jezebel, all of it. I'm the darkest witch ever to have lived, and I am reincarnated, and I'm here, to hurt people. I stole her husband. Meanwhile, she lives in Texas, and I live in New York, and I've never met her, and she's just a lunatic. And somebody, who was jealous of me and trying to copy me. I'm a pastor. I'm a minister. I can practice any religious rite from baptism to funeral, anywhere in any U.S.-owned territory. She started, doing weddings or advertising that she did weddings. But basically, she was in a lot of trouble, that she owed people a lot of money for services that she did not perform, readings that they purchased that she did not do, or she did them, but it was clear she didn't know what the hell she was talking about. She wasn't a real psychic. She wasn't a real reader. And in order to give herself a way out, a means out, she used me. And she was literally making videos about me being Jezebel and having done different things to her. And, it had an adverse effect on me. It didn't stop me, though, and it won't. Because I'm committed As an illumined being, I was put here for this, for that, to fight this sort of thing. That's what it means to be a twin flame, if you really want to be one. So, I had said everyone wants to be one, but no one wants to make the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice that we have to be willing to make. And beyond that is the sacrifice we have to be willing to make. Every time I get on here, every time I speak about things that no one else speaks of, I'm putting myself at risk. I know that. I'm consciously doing it because that's what I'm put here to do. But that's what we all are if you are a member of the Illumined. If you're a member of the elect, period. We're made in his image. Why do you think we're made in his image? To be like him, to do what he did, to be willing to. That's for what? I said that John Brown was like the mini Nat Turner, the white version. Nat Turner was also a minister, not unlike myself. Before his revolution, he had a minimal understanding, honestly, of the Bible. He believed it and understood it the way it had been taught to him, rather than through, his third eye. But that same Bible says that God said, let those who have eyes see. Once you have that third eye open, you read it differently. You see different things. And that's what he did. He read the Bible and he said, oh, wait, now I see what this says. And that's what led to his revolution. He realized what he had to do after rereading the Bible. Well, I've read the Bible many times and I have eyes. And so I know that this is what we're all meant to do. Like any other army, to varying degrees and from varying positions. But we all have to be willing to do the same thing. Everybody that signs up for the army is signing up for the same thing, to put themselves on the line. And if you believe, again, that you're a twin flame, then what you're saying is not just that you believe you're going to meet somebody that's really cool and fall in love and, walk off into the sunset, but that you believe that you signed a soul contract, committing to be reincarnated at this time for this purpose about which I'm speaking. So that's why I don't call my videos twin flame videos. That's why I don't call myself a twin flame. And, it would be nice if I could, but what the label has been turned into, it's just not. So, but at the same time, we're supposed to be against the labels too, right? The age of Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius even, is about freedom and humanitarianism. So it's breaking away from all of these, falsities, period. All of these things that have built up around us, and facing the truth and being willing to face the consequences of the truth, not running away from that anymore. So on that note, let's get into what is going on this week specifically. But that's what's going on. Like Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? That's what's going on. Just to give you guys something to think about. But this week, what's going on? We got a few things, and I will start with the Christian calendar and the feast day on the 16th of the month, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. This is from www.franciscanmedia.org/our-lady-of-Mount-Carmel. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Saint of the Day for July 16th. Hermits lived on Mount Carmel near the Fountain of Elijah in northern Israel in the 12th century. They had a chapel dedicated to Our Lady. By the 13th century, they became known as Brothers of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. They soon celebrated a special Mass and office in honor of Mary. In 1726, or 88, it became a celebration of the Universal Church under the title of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. For centuries, the Carmelites have seen themselves as specially related to Mary. Their great saints and theologians have promoted devotion to her and often championed the mystery of her Immaculate Conception. Saint Teresa of Avila called Carmel, quote, the order of the Virgin, end quote. Saint John of the Cross credited Mary with saving him from drowning as a child, leading him to Carmel, and helping him to escape from prison. Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus believed that Mary cured her from illness. On her first communion day, Teresa dedicated her life to Mary. During the last days of her life, she frequently spoke of Mary. I was dedicated to Mary several times. My name is basically Maria, 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 Maria. My baptismal name is Maria. My confirmation name is Maria. My birth name is Mariama, which precedes Maria. You get the idea. There is a tradition which may not be historical that Mary appeared to Saint Simon, a leader of the Carmelites, and gave him a scapular, telling him to promote devotion to it. The scapular is a modified version of Mary's own garment. It symbolizes her special protection and calls the wearers to consecrate themselves to her in a special way. I'm sorry, this is Saint Simon Stock, not Simon Peter, of course, the apostle. The scapular reminds us of the gospel call to prayer and penance, a call that Mary models in a splendid way. I also wanted to tell you guys about how this seemed to connect to the Knights of Templar, about which I also did a short impromptu video a couple weeks ago, upon realizing that many of us had probably been Knights of Templar in a past life. Anyway, back to this. The Carmelites were known from early on as Brothers of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. The title suggests that they saw Mary not only as a mother, but also as a sister. The word sister is a reminder that Mary is very close to us. She's the daughter of God, and therefore can help us to be authentic daughters and sons of God too. She also can help us to grow an appreciation of being sisters and brothers to one another. She leads us to new realization that all human beings belong to the family of God. When such conviction grows, there's hope that the human race can find its way to peace. That's kind of what I was just trying to do. But again, I am also a Mary. Mary, under the title of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, is the patron saint of Chile. And actually, she's also sometimes called, they don't have it here, but she's also sometimes called the Queen of Chile, as opposed to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I'd also brought up the Wikipedia page because I wanted to, like I said, mention the Crusader states and not that were involved in this and not forget about them. So just quickly from wikipedia.org, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, they say, is the title given to the Blessed Virgin Mary in her role as patroness of the Carmelite order. The first Carmelites were Christian hermits living on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land. So that's what makes this particular order so special, because it was like the first order out of Jerusalem, where again, in years prior, the Templar Knights had also been founded, also in Jerusalem. I think this is from the year 1165 or something. I remember as a date connected to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Maybe it'll say it here. I'll try to read some more quickly. But of course, the Templar Knights were founded in 1119. So that was one of the things I also went over in the video. So they came out of the Holy Land in the late 12th and early to mid 13th century. They built in the midst of their hermitages a chapel, which they dedicated to the Blessed Virgin, whom they conceived in chivalric terms as the lady of the place, because they were all men. Our Lady of Mount Carmel was adopted in the 19th century as the patron saint of Chile in South America. Since the 15th century, popular devotion to Our Lady of Mount Carmel has centered on the scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, also known as the brown scapular. Traditionally, Mary is said to have given the scapular to an early Carmelite named Saint Simon Stock. Oh, he was born in 1165. Maybe that's from where I remembered it. And he died in 1265. So he died at 100. The liturgical feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel is celebrated on the 16th of July. Oh, I also wanted to mention, maybe they'll have it here, that it was originally supposed to be on the 17th and it was moved. The solemn liturgical feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel was probably first celebrated in England in the later part of the 14th century. Its object was thanksgiving to Mary, the patroness of the Carmelite order, for the benefits that she had accorded it through its difficult early years. The institution of the feast may have come in the wake of the benediction of their brothers of the Blessed Virgin Mary at Cambridge, England, in the year 1374. The date chosen, of course, 1374 equals 6, which is one of Mary's numbers, as is the 15th century when this started in England. And we remember, those of you who saw the video that I did about the Templar Knights, basically their downfall was England getting involved, and the king and whatnot, having robbed them and then set them up for failure. Anyway, the date was chosen to be the 17th of July on the European mainland, but this date conflicted with the feast of Saint Alexis, requiring a shift to the 16th, which remains the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel throughout the Catholic Church. So that's interesting. And of course, they go on to describe more of the history. And again, it was the only religious order to be started in the Crusader states. That's what I always found most interesting. Those Crusader states were the feudal Christian states created by Western Europe, also Asia Minor, Greece, the Holy Land, and during the Northern Crusades in the Eastern Baltic area as well. And of course, they don't want to say flat out Africa, but there too. Anytime you're talking about something happening in the Middle East, and you want to throw Greece and whatnot in there, started in Africa, likely Egypt. Any case, so that's that. Also this week, wanted to mention a feast day on the Hebrew calendar. So again, I won't be mentioning anything on the Islamic calendar until August and the Hajj. Islam pretty much only has 3 months of the year that are considered particularly holy, and days that I would mention here. Although there are a few people that it would probably be interesting to do videos about. Anyway, on the Hebrew calendar, on the 20th, the last day for which this reading is the feast day of the 17th of Tammuz, which is about the temple having been destroyed, and the belief that every generation since that temple was destroyed until it is rebuilt needs to work toward its rebuilding. So that includes us, right? Rebuilding Jerusalem, rebuilding the Holy Land, restoring our home, basically, our place of origin. So the 17th of Tammuz, history, laws, and customs from Chabad.org, www.chabad.org, Chabad.org. The feast day of the 17th of the Hebrew month of Tammuz, or also known as Shiva Asar B'Tammuz, is the start of the 3-week mourning period for the destruction of Jerusalem and the 2 holy temples. The fast, because yes, there's a fast associated with it, actually commemorates 5 tragic events that occurred on this date. Number 1, Moses broke the tablets when he saw the Jewish people worshiping the golden calf. Number 2, The tablets were, of course, what he brought down from Mount Sinai, the commandments. He destroyed them. Number two, during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem, the Jews were forced to cease offering the daily sacrifices due to a lack of sheep. Number three, Apostamos burned the holy Torah. Number four, an idol was placed in the holy temple. And number five, the walls of Jerusalem were breached by Romans in 69 CE or BC. The year 69 also associated with Mary, or the number 69 rather. 6 and 9 separately as well. This was done after a lengthy siege. So the Romans first had the city of Jerusalem under siege, and then 3 weeks later, after the Jews put up a valiant struggle, the Romans destroyed the second holy temple on the 9th of Av. The Jerusalem Talmud maintains that this is also the date when the Babylonians breached the walls of Jerusalem on their way to destroying the first temple. So they were basically taken over by two different groups of people. It goes on to describe how to practice the fast and sort of who's required to do it and who is not. What parts of the Torah they read consists mostly of Exodus and Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. And pretty much it's about abstaining from food and drink. On a deeper level, a fast day is an auspicious day and a day when God is accessible, waiting for us to repent. The sages say, quote, every generation for which the temple is not rebuilt, it is as though the temple was destroyed for that generation. End quote. A fast day is not only a sad day, but an opportune day. It's a day when we're empowered to fix the cause of that destruction so that our long exile will be ended and we will find ourselves living in messianic times. May that be very soon. Amen. May that be very soon. So on that note, I will move on to the planetary calendar. And for this week, on the 16th at 5:38 p.m., we will experience the full moon in Capricorn and a partial lunar eclipse. And on the 19th, July 19th at 3:06 a.m., Mercury retrograde will enter Cancer. So I'll quickly talk about that. I'm going to go straight to that because the moon, I'll do a separate reading for the moon. Mercury retrograde in Cancer from www.tarot.com/astrology/planets/Mercury-in-Cancer. Because Cancer rules all things connected to the home and family, these are the exact areas that could experience mishaps while Mercury retrogrades through this sign. Miscommunication with family members or tension between relatives is common during Mercury retrograde in Cancer. It could, however, be a great time to reconnect with family members that you haven't talked to in a long time. Buying or selling a house or starting a big home renovation project are also not advised during Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Problems like missing contracts, delayed plans, and miscommunicated information can plague the process. So be ready for that. Currently, Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Leo. So moving from Leo to Cancer, and then it'll move back to Leo and go direct. This is actually my second attempt at a weekly general reading. I did a phenomenal reading for this week. Absolutely phenomenal. And got Mercury retrograded it. Graded it. The video didn't save. It just was not there. My camera restarted at some point and was just about finished with the reading. And when it restarted, all that I had recorded prior was gone, was nowhere to be found in the memory anywhere. So here we are with a different reading. I decided actually to take that other reading and to publish it as an exclusive for those, only those who were able to catch it during the premiere, and figured I'd probably delete it afterwards, so that no one else would see it. That hasn't happened yet, but I that's my plan. So this will be the reading that the rest of us will use. And we'll start with the dice, beginning with yes. Party. Happy birthday to any Cancers, it's still Cancers out there celebrating, or congratulations if they're in order for other reasons. Enjoy your celebrations. This will be the last week, I guess, of Cancer season. This reading is for the 14th through the 20th. So that should be the last week. When we come back next week, it will be Leo season. My dad and his twin, not his twin flame, his twin, as in born at the same time, are those early Leos, those Cancer Leo cuspians. He's born on the 24th, which of course 7/24 is 13/04 or 11/11. My dad would be born on a 13 like me. I was born on an actual 13, but you know what I mean. Anywho, trying to pay attention to those patterns, not just in my own family, but at large, that surround us all. In any case, let's get to these dice. So, yes, party and romantic dinner. There could be like an engagement party. I just got, especially with yes, party and romantic dinner. Somebody may be celebrating an engagement this week, or some of you may be celebrating engagement this week. That's one thing that seems to be in common between the reading that I did that got Mercury retrograded in and this one. It was a general reading, but it looked like a love reading. And if the cards with which I'm going to start for this reading have anything to do with it, or have any bearing, it looks like this one's going to be a love reading too. I'm starting with the Two of Water, the Wheel, spiritual partnership, and a blessing in relationship. So even if they're not romantic relationships, this the table's covered in partnership right now. And as far as the dice, Spirit says, buy shoes. Dirty movie. People could be connecting online, perhaps FaceTime, Skype, things of that nature. Also, forget it. Leaving something in the past where it belongs. There is a full moon this week on the 16th. And so that will move us to let go of things and to leave them in the past where they should be. Again, I'm starting with the Two of Water, the Wheel, spiritual partnership, and a blessing in relationship. With the Two of Water, our cups being first. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. I definitely feel reconciliation for people. Even again, if it's not romantic, this is still the general reading. It could be friends that had some sort of falling out, or you drifted apart or whatever. You don't even know why you're not speaking, but you come back together this week. Family members too could have some sort of reconciliation. Also, they're making me open up here, and it is to see the Chariot, Major Arcana card 7, which is all about moving. Could be moving on. It could be metaphoric, moving on, leaving again the hurt and stuff in the past, expressing some forgiveness, healing the relationship, moving forward triumphantly. Chariot is a card of victory too. Also could be about literal moving. Transportation, modes of transportation like cars and things. It's about you being in the driver's seat too, like in control of your own destiny, which is awesome. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower. Also public recognition. Somebody could be celebrating you for some reason. Again, there could be an engagement Or a couple could be deciding that they're going to move in together. Or taking some sort of trip, a voyage, and people celebrating you. Two of water. Major Arcana card 3, the Empress with Archangel Gabriel. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. The Empress represents the planet Venus and the signs of Libra, Taurus, and Gemini, which she rules. It is a card of abundance. It is a card of creation. It is a card of co-creation. People coming together and working on a project together. Giving birth to something together. Maybe even literal pregnancy. That could be what we're celebrating. Somebody becoming pregnant or giving birth this week. If you've been trying to get pregnant and had difficulty, this is a good week for you to work on that. We also could be giving birth to a new business, some other sort of abundance. Our project, our baby, something that we're working on. The Empress is also... she's very attractive, and if this is a relationship, you are extremely, if you're represented by the Empress in the relationship, you're extremely desired by the other people, or the other person. It is genuine. They find you extremely attractive, and it's likely a or the female in the relationship. Also, somebody could be mending a relationship with their mother or their child, right? This can be representative of a familial relationship too. The Empress can be representative of mother. Maybe it's a mother and her son with Major Arcana card 19 showing up. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun, represents the sign of Sagittarius or perhaps another fire sign. And with the Two of Water, it is actually an 11-19 transpose. But again, something working out tremendously well between, two people in some sort of partnership. And with this being the general reading, it can be any type of partnership. Friendship, familial, romantic. But things turn out well. You might be making up with perhaps a Sagittarius specifically. Sagittarius friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Or, partner. Two of Water. Also, again, if there's something like giving birth or for whatever reason, like you're in the hospital, that goes well too. And we see two people. Somebody may be giving birth to twins, and it'll be fine this week. Yep, that's going to give you a nice family and reason to celebrate as a group. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. You have trustworthy relationships. So again, engagement, marriage, bringing a child into the world, or two. I definitely feel twins, and I just happened to mention that my father was a twin in his birthday, even though that had nothing to do with the reading. I told you everything that I say, even if I don't know why I'm saying it at the time, it tends to be, important in some way. Two of Water. And that brings us to Major Arcana card 18, the Moon with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights. Events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. The Moon always shows up for my readings during a period where there is a major transit with the Moon, like there is this week, a full moon in Capricorn and a partial lunar eclipse on that same day, that same time. The Moon is about stuff that's hidden, like it's eclipsed. Also about things that are ending, the full moon. Things that are ending, things of which we need to let go. They no longer serve a purpose. Also, it's about fear. Well, yeah, that's something we need to let go too. Releasing fear. With the sun having shown up, even though it showed up first, also something could be coming out. Something could be illuminated. Light could be shown on a dark area, a hidden area, a secret could come to light or something this week too. Overall energy is the Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. You've already done what you need to do in order to initiate something in your life. Something that's going to happen. You may have just done it this month. Right, 7, the 7th month. July. You may do it this week. And it's something that's going to produce fruits, the fruits of your labor in the future. In the meantime, you're not to worry if fruit is being produced, if it's growing, because that's what happens when you plant seeds. They grow. So you should just have faith that that's how the process works. Have faith in that process and be patient, knowing that you are going to end up with a product, right? The product of your efforts. Crown of the masculine. The 5 of Earth. Fear surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others. And uncertain self-employment. The masculine experiencing some sort of feeling of loss, disenchantment. Could be in relationships too. Fear of contact. Fear of commitment. Fear of abandonment. Fear of your past, like returning, repeating itself. Mommy issues, daddy issues. As it relates to the financial and the material, it's usually loss or fear of loss. Fear of not having enough. Even if you have. Right? Sometimes we do this even when we have ample supply, and or the ability to manifest ample supply. We still worry about not having enough, that time possibly coming, and that instills a fear. Masculine surrounded by, see, feeling stuck. The 8 of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. For reasons like or similar to those I just mentioned. All those fears. Masculine subconscious. The King of Water. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Also charity work, which in my opinion is love. Charity work is unconditional love. It's giving and or receiving in a totally genuine way. Right, without agenda. The King of Water is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He could be Pluto himself. Pluto currently retrograde in Capricorn. And these two cards together could be representing that Capricorn energy and that restriction, that feeling of being stuck. The moon also going to be in Capricorn. So we'll have Pluto again, which is there and retrograde. Saturn, which is also currently there. Saturn, Capricorn's ruler, also currently in Capricorn and retrograde. And the full moon will also be in Capricorn, as will that lunar eclipse, that partial lunar eclipse. Crown of the feminine, the 10 of Water. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships. So this is the feminine being surrounded by love or loving feelings. You know, could be from within. She's got that loving feeling. She wants to reach out to people. She wants to be, you know, with people that she cares about. She wants to let people know how she feels about them. And we do have it crossing the King of Water. So it can be in, you know, with regard two, specifically a king of water, maybe more specifically in a water sign. Again, a Cancer, Pisces, a Scorpio. Or just based in this unconditional, again, energy of, giving and or receiving love without agenda. Feminine surrounded by Major Arcana card 8, Justice. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Major Arcana card 8, Justice, represents the planet Venus, which is currently located in Cancer, actually. And so there's that water. Venus, ruler of the sign of Libra. Justice represents the sign of Libra. Can have to do with some actual legal issues. And actually, in the reading that I had done prior, I had seen things like, maybe even jail, like maybe somebody's really stuck or in danger of being, truly stuck, like imprisoned. A family member, a loved one. Maybe a water sign specifically, again. Water sign male. Not just masculine. We got an 8 mirroring an 8 too. 8s are about karma and, things working out like as they should, like everybody getting their justice, whatever that means. Like you get what you deserve. Good or bad. You're getting what you deserve. Justice is about the scales being even. The playing field being even. Nobody has a head start. Nobody has, has any gains on any other. We're all starting from the same place, this fair place. Nobody has an advantage over the other. And then we're each going to get what we deserve, our justice. And again, you've already done what you need to do in order for it to turn out as best as it can for you. Feminine subconscious. Major Arcana card 21, the World, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, and the path toward enlightenment. Feminine may be being freed. Maybe she's the one in jail or in danger of being in jail too. But if it's not actual imprisonment, being freed from some situation or relationship in which she was in way too long. That's what the World represents for me. Something coming full circle. It's finally over, a phase coming to an end. And I call it like my waiting to exhale card. Like you can finally breathe easy. You overstayed your welcome in some sort of situation, again, or a relationship. You worked at the same job too long, even though you saw that it was dead end. It was, you were going nowhere fast, or relationship going nowhere fast, headed, to crash and burn, but you stayed there anyway. Had a way out, didn't take advantage, didn't take it. Figured might as well stay with the devil. Well, he pays my bills at least. So if I leave, I don't know, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to have to pay my own bills. Or what if this next guy or girl is broke and they can't afford to take care of me or my kids? I better stay, even though you know you need to go. And now the universe is helping you out of that situation. So that can be what this is representing too. There can even be divorce happening here. If you're not getting a divorce in the traditional sense, divorcing yourself from something, or the universe divorcing you from something, helping you to divorce yourself from something and to leave it behind, to be done with it. Crowning. The 9 of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Worry that something is not going to turn out right. Again, the feminine may have somebody that is in jail or in danger of being in jail also. And there's a concern about that, worry about that. Or, again, if it's not actual jail, imprisoned by something. At the root, foundation. The 3 of Earth. The power of creativity. recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. You could be, again, feeling stuck in some sort of relationship. Three of Earth could be representative of some sort of party of three, maybe even a love triangle. And he could be feeling stuck in that relationship and worried about getting out, worried about the feminine moving on. But the Three of Earth for me also is about abundance that is earned, often from actual work, labor. It can represent a worker energy. Sometimes it's about relationships that we're having, whether they're friendships or romantic or whatever, that we made at work. Something having to do with group projects or group work at the job. For the feminine, it's sitting here next to yet another three. The World, which has a fire energy for me. Although these are not court cards, situation could be involving an earth sign and maybe a fire sign. The King of Water, when he's a Scorpio, can be represented by fire because he is in part ruled by Mars. But the Three of Earth is a very positive card too for me. It's about abundance that is earned, that is coming to your way because you deserve it. So you're getting that justice. And of course, the 8 and the 3 together make an 11. The heart of the matter. The Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And maybe most likely, if it is an air sign, a Libra. Knight of Air is also about a decision that we're awaiting or that we're needing to make. You may be awaiting a legal decision for a judge to hand down some sort of decision, a judgment. The Three of Earth for me can also be very much like Major Arcana card Judgment. Both are about abundance that is earned, as far as I'm concerned. And because you're due. You just do. So this could be somebody getting a positive outcome in a situation that looks bleak and or dire, maybe even frightening. Like perhaps, the threat of imprisonment. The feminine may have also reached out, expressed herself to masculine, and be awaiting his response or decision, and both afraid. Like he may not know how to respond or feel as if he can, might feel stuck because of some past situation, and or again another relationship, like, okay, well, I'd like to respond, right? Feeling King of Waterish, like to respond, but I'm stuck in this other situation, again, or relationship. And so I'm afraid, or I don't feel that I can, I don't feel that I'm able. For the feminine, in that case, what could have ended or what could be ending is simply that energy that she was in that prevented her from reaching out before or from expressing herself genuinely before. That could be ending. And she's in a new place. Let's further clarify with the other tarot deck. Again, beginning with Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel, which also represents a fire energy. Represents the planet Jupiter, which rules the sign of Sagittarius. Also connected to the fixed signs Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. So there's a fire too. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. Like this looks dire and right, but sudden positive change in your life so that you can now move forward and make great progress. And opening 2, speaking of the fixed signs and Leo, it is Major Arcana card 11, Strength. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. You can face whatever comes your way, and you'll be able to work through situations that were difficult to find a way, to express or seek forgiveness and compassion, or both. And it should be available amply, right? The wheel, this card in this deck represents abundance. But here's another 8 of winter, 8 of air, and that feeling of being stuck. It's so easy to convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of self-confidence if you first affirm your freedom. And I think that more so goes to the masculine here. If you first tell yourself, realize that you are not stuck, you will be freed. As long as you are sort of reaffirming the fact that you're stuck or the fact that you're imprisoned, then you will be. 8 of winter. And here we have somebody that's actually in a cage, or not somebody, but a bird, with the ability to free themselves, standing in the doorway. Could be about financial freedom, too, with the wheel here and abundance. This is a material situation or financial situation. And there's another 3 behind it. It's the 3 of summer, which is the card of celebration behind it. Whoop. Eight of winter. And another 3, major arcana card 12, awakening, which is the hangman. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted. Right? Don't worry if you have to be patient for a while. It's temporary, that halt. And things will soon start moving again. When I picked up the 7 of earth, by the way, behind it is the 6 of water or cups, which can be about a soulmate relationship, about people coming back into your life, reuniting with people, often exes or people from your past, close friends, could be family members too, could have something to do with children. That may be with whom you're reuniting. You're reunited with your children, or making up with your children, or making up with your mother, or siblings. And when I picked that up, behind it is another major arcana card 12, awakenings, or the hanged man. This one says, look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So it's important to be genuine and to express your feelings and to be willing to give and take love. Love has to be able to pass both ways in a genuine way when the clock starts moving again. And then I also mentioned an earth sign may specifically be involved. And here we have the king of earth behind the hangman. King of earth is generous, professional, responsible, and practical. An earth sign or an earthly matter. A successful time. Confidently accept the opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. So again, you have the ability to free yourself from whatever situation you're feeling stuck in. It is major arcana card, the star behind that. Another 17 equals 8, having to do with your karma. The star represents the planet Uranus in the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. This Knight of Air may have to do with the sign of Aquarius. The sign of Aquarius is all about freedom and humanitarianism. Happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. I mean, I could go on for days, but I'll just show you that there's another major arcana card behind this. And it is major arcana card 2, the High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Have patience. Consider carefully what you want before acting. So all those things that I said, we got to decide like truly, genuinely what you want before you say something. The 8 of water is here. So again, moving on, there's another major arcana card 11, strength, representing the sign of Leo. So it's all these energies repeating themselves, all these messages repeating themselves. I could go on, but I will stop there. Especially since I'm about to make a mess. Yep. Awakening. Things will start moving again soon. So we have the ability to move out of this negative energy. And of course, the 3 and the 8 here equal another 11, like the Major Arcana card Strength. Eight of Winter. And the Princess of Winter. Logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. The Princess of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or again, someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Mercury himself. That could be what this delay is about. All this energy, all these messages about the need for patience, being held up temporarily. That could be because of Mercury retrograde. And Princess of Winter could definitely be representing that. And that may be why we're feeling stuck too. But soon you'll be able to move again. Even if that means you have to wait till Mercury retrograde is over. It's so short, you know. It can wreak a lot of damage while it's around, but it's only like 3-4 weeks long, you know, as opposed to some of these others. Also, I've been seeing a lot of 8s. We got the, you know, not only 2 8s right here, but 2 8s of Winter or Swords. And then we have another 8, again, mirroring that 8, the Justice. So there's, I mean, I've said a couple of times that I feel that things are happening now. They're being initiated or activated now, and they won't culminate until later. So like August, September, October, even November, when these retrogrades begin to, when these planets begin to go direct again. So like August 11th, actually, we have Jupiter going direct. It's currently retrograde in Sagittarius, which it rules, but we have it going direct the same day as Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. So that's a new start too, a fresh start too, a totally complete change in energy from what had been experienced. So something gets left in the past. The whole year gets left in the past, and we start anew from August. So some of us will experience this positivity in August, but there's something initiating it now. 8 of Winter. I'll do one more. It is the 6 of Winter. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Remember, I said this is my waiting to exhale card. We're waiting to be able to breathe again. That sigh of relief. Now you can do it. Let go of the past and embrace the happier times ahead. Eight of Winter. Boom. There's your 11, your fresh start, or your 1, depending upon how you want to look at it, the Ace of Summer. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the blush of romantic love, the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship. I talked about reconciliation and such, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. So some ascension and growth, maybe courtesy of Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, and luck or karma. Overall energy is another 3 of Earth, Pentacles, Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career and relationship or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. So we have 1 here, and now we have 1 as the overall energy. 1 is the foundation, 1 is the overall. And we've got these other 3s too. Even in the cases of the 3s, I think it has to do with the timing for a lot of us, like 3 more months. Again, that will put us in October. when more of the planets have gone direct. 3 more weeks even. That'll put us in August. And the Lion's Gate. We keep seeing all this Leo energy, all this strength. The Lion's Gate, Rosh Hashanah, Jupiter going direct. All happens around the same time. Let me fix this. I just saw some more 8s. Card number 88 in my numerology deck, which is about abundance. Boom. All right. Okay. So crowning the masculine, atop the page, I'm sorry, the 5 of earth, rather, is the 10 of spring. So again, this difficulty, this feeling of loss, this feeling of maybe even of being burdened, of carrying all the weight of a situation, struggling, barely being able to keep up with something, needing somebody else to help you for a 50-50 split, and they're not helping you. So you feel burdened, or you feel burdensome upon somebody else. That's coming to an end. You're working far too hard, and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. You need to be social. Some of us may just be working too many hours, and sitting here next to the 9 of air or swords, which is next to this here, you could just be exhausted, masculine, which, can pose some dangers, especially like in the summer, you're hot, there's people that pass out, heat exhaustion from stress, more blood pressure issues and things in the summer. So you want to be mindful of that. Atop the 8 of air and that feeling of being stuck in the situation is the 4 of summer. Your responsibilities, like working a whole bunch and not being social, not giving time to your love life or your friends or whatever, may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you, that there is opportunity out there for you. Be open to investigating all those opportunities that come your way. Atop the King of Water or Cups, the 5 of Winter. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. In this position in particular, which is like the mind, this is one being conflicted, right? You might not necessarily be in conflict with somebody else. You are conflicted. You are confused. You don't know what to do. You don't know which way to go. You are stressed out. Again, it may be specifically a water sign who is feeling this way, or it can be in an area involving love and or emotion. There's an emotional attachment to something or somebody about which you're conflicted. And again, like I said, the case may be, just even as simple as wanting to respond, but, feeling that you're stuck or in a position where you can't. Maybe you can't because you're in jail physically, or something like that. You're at a distance, whatever. There's so many different reasons that we've already gone over. And so because of that, you're conflicted. Like, what do I do? How do I fix this? It might be a matter of you trying to keep some sort of situation secret, something through which you've been going secret. That may be why you can't, respond or feel that you can't take advantage of an opportunity that's coming your way too. But that's all on you, to be ready to face the truth and, own up to whatever it is and trust that people that love you, won't care essentially, or they'll help you to work through whatever it is, or, risk missing an opportunity. Crowning the feminine, atop the 10 of Cups is Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. I think I mentioned the possibility of making up specifically with a Sagittarius or something, right? Some sort of reconciliation. So that still can definitely be. Or we could be celebrating life and love with, friends, family, even one other loved one. Or just feeling really good ourselves, feeling, love. Or perhaps we have acted on those feelings of love. Like I said, we reached out to somebody or something, and we are worried with the 9 of Swords sitting here next to the 10 of Cups. What's going to happen? What are they going to think? What are they going to say? And the outcome, again, will be positive. At least for you. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll reply. It may just give you a sense of freedom from that fear of not reaching out before. Freedom of that guilt of I never said, I left things unsaid or whatever. So now you're saying them. I never had closure. Now you're getting it. Like that sort of thing. A top major arcana card 8, Justice, is major arcana card 11, Strength. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. And like I said, for some of us, something is going to be transpiring, coming to conclusion or culminating in August during the period of Leo, around the 11th, around the same time as Rosh Hashanah, around the same time as Jupiter goes direct, and around the same time as the Lion's Gate. Or some sort of legal issue may come to an end. That something is being initiated now. You'll have the ability, the strength to face whatever it is. It's in the cards for it to work out well for you. Here we have an 11-19 also. And just requires you to be positive and to follow the divine guidance that you're being given. So to release any fear and to move forward with any direction that you receive from the divine. In subconscious, a top major arcana card 21, the World, is another 7 of Autumn. The planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. We see evidence of that here. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. So I've said many times that the World for me is similar to the Tower. It is a very strong karmic, as in of the universe, beyond our control, energy that steps in to help us. The difference is that the Tower is abrupt and the World can sometimes require some patience. Sometimes so much so that although it's like this waiting to exhale sort of thing, and we've taken our time leaving a situation, it's like when we begin to feel the universe moving us out of that situation, now we want to hurry up. Like, thank you, universe, for coming, get me out of this. And now we're impatient. Whereas we stayed on our own for, 10 months, 10 years, 10 lifetimes it feels. Now all of a sudden we want to get out quickly. And no, it does require some patience sometimes for you to be transitioned into a new job, into a new relationship, into a new living condition, to move to another place. All that stuff can take some time. But being initiated now, right, in the 7th month. Crowning atop the 9 of Air, the worry or need for sleep, rest, recovery. The King of Spring, inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He's also a leader, a boss even, somebody that's in control of his own life. You may previously have had other people trying to run you around, trying to be in control, but you are in control now. King of Spring, also a representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. And as I mentioned before, it may be the masculine himself who needs some sleep, or who is particularly worried, or about whom the feminine is particularly worried, in some sort of situation where they are stuck or potentially stuck, or seemingly in some sort of danger or struggle. At the root, foundation atop, the Three of Earth, which again is about abundance that is earned. The Seven of Autumn. So there may be options in that regard of how we're going to come into the abundance. Or maybe we have different streams of abundance. It can also have to do with our dreams. Seven of Summer, for me, although not a court card, very representative of the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which it rules, and dreams and goals. So it may be through those, through our work, knocking these goals out one by one, by which we're going to come to our abundance. We also may have had a one-night stand with somebody at our job. Started some sort of relationship that we didn't expect to be serious with somebody we met at work. And now we're conflicted. Like, I didn't expect that to turn into that. Now it happened. Now it has. Now what? Now what do I do? At the heart of the matter, atop the Knight of Air, and maybe the need to make a decision, or somebody awaiting a decision. Here's the Seven of Spring, which is all about decisions. Be assertive. Believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So again, you are in control when you make this decision to move, to unstick yourself, to reach out to someone, to unstick yourself, to allow the universe to help you out of a situation, regardless of what anybody else thinks that you should do, or of all the other options that you potentially have, and maybe somebody else thinks that one of the other options is better than the one that you've chosen. Regardless of any of that, you do not have to change your mind unless you decide that you want to. Don't let anybody else change it for you. You maintain control, and there's evidence of you doing just that. The strength of Leo the Lion, the ability to face whatever comes your way. And there's also evidence, again, of something starting now. Maybe because of the eclipse. And not being completely over until the fall. Maybe August for a lot of us. Who, for whom it's staggered like this. October is another possibility. November even. Great things happening. So we're going to do a little further clarification with the numerology deck. We're going to begin with card number 27, Spiritual Partnership. And opening to card number 56, Relationship Change. Spiritual Partnership. 9, Completion. Maybe something happening in September for some of us. Spiritual Partnership. 44, Environment. It's another 8. Changing the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. So making adjustments to it. Paying attention to what it is. Like, managing it. Maintaining it. Opposite, Spiritual Partnership. It can definitely be, changing partners. Getting a new job. Starting a new relationship. Leaving an old one alone. Cutting the cords. By putting yourself first and doing what you want. Beginning now in the 7th month with self-love. And that results in a happy ending, like the sun. On that note, I will cut. How did I get back to happy ending? I specifically picked up what I thought was the first pile. Well, yeah, I guess I was meant to, because I tried not to. I like consciously tried not to. Happy ending. Overall energy is card number 81, leadership. So it's another 9, and it's another card about being in control. Like in control of your own destiny, not, in a shadow sort of way, like being in control and dominating people and being, overwhelmingly aggressive and stuff like that. Not like that. Just being, again, in control of yourself, your destiny, your future, your dreams, your goals. So now here, joining the 10 of spring and the 5 of earth or pentacles is creativity. You coming up with creative ways to heal the situation for yourself. If you're not being social enough, you getting out there, spending time in groups. You working toward your own abundance, material, financial, with the 3. 3s are about abundance too. You helping yourself out of a stressful situation, maybe through spirituality, with the 3. On top, the 4 of summer and the 8 of air, and again, being stuck, missing an opportunity. We have new beginnings. So again, you can leave this in your past, this feeling of being stuck, this feeling of not, feeling worthy or deserving. You can leave it in the past, exchange it for new beginnings. And that's with this energy that's coming with the full moon this week. And again, the eclipse. Lunar eclipses, like full moons, are about endings. Solar eclipses, like new moons, are about beginnings. But at the same time, eclipses in general are about something coming to an end and something new starting. But also, in the meantime, the possibility of information being hidden or particularly illuminated. So it's up to you to use what you have at your hands, you to come up with creative ways to figure out what it is you need to know and make a decision, which direction, which you need to go. Top, the 5 of winter and the king of water, and that feeling of being conflicted, quite possibly and likely in the area of love, emotion, romance. It's card number 77, spirituality. So like I said here, to get yourself out of this situation, you may want to look to your spirituality. You may want to do some meditation. And it's sitting next to the 9 of swords, again, which can be about the need for sleep, rest, and maybe some meditation, some at peace time, to lay down your burdens and focus on you for a minute. That's going to help you to figure this situation out also. Atop the sun and the 10 of cups for the feminine, this very awesome time that she has here. Ooh, parenting. Again, may have something to do with actually giving birth, having a baby, or with your child, maybe specifically a son, a male child, maybe making up with family, maybe you reaching out to not a child, but again, someone, maybe specifically the masculine, and that's why the male is coming up. Not that he's your son, but in terms of nurturing you and him and, relationship, union. It's also the same color as the creativity card and the happy ending card. Both are yellow and all about Therefore, all about solar plexus, which is where we have our gut feeling, and some would dare say where our soul is located. That's why we get butterflies on our stomach. That's why we get gut feelings. That's why we feel like our stomach is dropping out of us, dropping through the floor when, we're astonished, shocked, afraid. So you may want to focus on that area if you're going to do any kind of chakra healing too. We definitely could be speaking of the soul connections, again, and the need for spirituality, for meditation, to find an at peace place. I did also feel, though, some people, again, becoming pregnant, maybe even giving birth this week. So it could be very literal, too. Especially sitting atop the Ten of Cups and the sun. The sun can be about, for me, being in the hospital, maybe ultrasound, right? Ultrasound, MRI, X-ray, those sort of things. The top major arcana card, 11, Strength, and what was here with it? Oh yeah, Justice. How could I forget? Very nice. Card number 88, Abundance. So again, getting what you deserve, and that is abundance. We talked about abundance being earned and coming your way. With the 8 plus 3 equals 11. 8 plus 3 equals 11 is the 11. And again, it's maybe culminating, coming to you specifically around the time of 8/11. Atop the 7 of Autumn, or Earth, or Pentacles, and the World, so the need for patience for something to, some funky situation to come to an end so a better one can replace it, is love. And we do have now mirroring this love energy, sort of mirroring the other with the King of Cups over here too. Atop the King of Spring and the 9 of Swords. Time out. I told you some of you need a break. You need to lay down your burdens. You need some rest. And that'll give you like an opportunity to rejuvenate yourself. The 3 plus the 7, that spirituality, equals the 10, the 1, the new beginning. That's going to give you a fresh start. You need to clear your head. You need to relax. You need to find peace. Again, maybe meditation, maybe some actual good old-fashioned sleep, or maybe to, stop overthinking, overanalyzing, stop worrying about what other people have to say or try to oppose upon you. Focus on leadership, yourself, self-love, and make decisions that, you feel are best for you, regardless of other people's input or, alleged impact, how it's going to affect them. They'll get over it. They'll be all right. Atop the 3 of Earth and the 7 of Summer is music. And for some of us, this is pretty literal. Like some of us have goals, opportunities, a desire also to work in music. And that may be what people are trying to talk you out of. It has to do with creativity, and it has to do with spirituality too. Right? Music is very spiritual. And somebody may be trying to talk you out of, being a starving artist and wanting you to go a different route. You go ahead and pursue your music, because that's where you're going to reach the abundance too. That's your baby. And if that's the way the universe is directing you, it's telling you also that it's going to help you. It's going to support you through it. For other people, this can represent some other sort of creativity, some other sort of creative outlet, and also be tied to sacral chakra. We got a lot of orange here too, with the music, the new beginnings, as well as our overall energy of leadership. Underneath this, I'll go ahead and mention, since we have all this yellow turning up, is yellow and orange together. Card number 13, Effort. The heart of the matter, atop the 7 of Spring and the Knight of Air, the decisions, is manifestation. So you got to decide what it is you want to draw nearer to you and to manifest into your life. We got another 8. I don't know how many 8s are on this table, but it's quite a bit. And we got a lot of 3 plus 8 equals 11 too. Like your creativity plus your manifestation, lead to, your happy future. You're 11. Further advice to the masculine from the Angel Tarot is the Page of Fire. It was outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and your creativity. So again, this is about you as an individual, self-love, leadership, and creativity. And it may be courtesy of Jupiter, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius. Could also be connected to Leo, Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. For the feminine, victory, which I think we saw or here plenty of times. The 6 of Fire, good news, it's on its way. So there's no need to worry if it's coming or not, even if you don't see it right away, right? Patience is going to be necessary here. Require patience and faith. Public recognition or awards like abundance coming to you. From my Namaste Oracle cards, it's this divine masculine all by himself, finding peace, meditating. Like I said, you guys need to do. Okay, getting centered. What's the message? The blessing of meditation. I couldn't have made this up. You guys saw me just take the top card. I didn't even bother to shuffle these. Your window of perception is cleansed, and for a moment, you see life as it truly is, infinite and eternal. Meditation will help you to rise above any situation and event, and to see things clearly. What usually seems chaotic and disorderly can seem the opposite. Know there is divine order in your life. That was the perfect card for you. Like it couldn't resonate more. And for the feminine, we also have a card that is only like a divine feminine mother energy on the front. Isn't that interesting? And our message is the blessing of endless possibility, which I think we see here too with all these 8s and manifestation and abundance. Allow your inner child, right, that we're parenting, to be the master for a while. And don't take things too seriously. Have fun and explore the world of endless possibility. Something wonderful is created through imagination and innocence. From the Animal Tarot to the masculine, Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation. I tell you, these cards couldn't resonate more. But that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus on material wealth and break free of negative thinking. Major Arcana card 15, Ego, is actually the Devil, of course. Represents the sign of Capricorn and the planet Saturn, and can be about restriction. I'll pull another card for the masculine to clarify that. For the feminine, moving forward, or perhaps actually moving, literally moving, or transportation, modes of transportation. Victory, winning, like the 6 of Fire also indicates. Recognition, awards, reward. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you are receiving. Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer. From the numerology deck to the masculine, environment. Card number 44, another 8. Some of you, again, may need to change the people, places, and things with which you surround yourself. And or this could be connected to earth energy. Again, maybe specifically Capricorn and or Saturn, and that being stuck and restricted for a period. Just it's temporary. Or feeling stuck and restricted. It is temporary. Saturn will go direct again. It won't stay like that forever. And you always have the ability to use your free will anyway. And, you know, to sort of buck the system and affirm to freeing yourself. Even people in jail, physical jail, actual jail. Some of them, you will hear them talk as if they are free. Because they decided that they were. That nothing could really hold them down. They freed their mind, and so the rest of them is free. Right? They freed their soul, so the rest of them is free. Even if the physical vessel is feeling trapped. And lastly, for the feminine, card number 87, synchronicity. So there will be all kinds of signs and messages and syncs, as they call them, synchronicities, to support that you are on the right path, even if it seems like nothing is happening. You don't see the fruits of your labor yet. Trust that they are growing. Maintain your faith and have a little bit of patience. I will clarify the masculine's devil, as I said I would. The next upright card is this one. And it is. It's another Prince of Winter. We have the Knight of Swords right here at the heart of the matter. And it's another one. So again, having to do with a decision that he's awaiting or needs to make. Decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. When that decision comes down, then all of a sudden things are going to take off. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. If it has to do with an actual person, Prince of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And there's a new start possible with them, or, you know, behind this energy. Once that decision is made, very, very quickly you can run to this new fresh start. And it's another 11 or 1, depending upon how you want to look at it. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise. You may not have been expecting, you know, the message that you receive or the opportunity that comes your way or whatever. But yet here it is. You'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the weekly general reading. I will be back with love, even though this in many, many ways seemed like it had to do with love. Thank you again for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I can't get the message out and around without you guys because I'm exhausted at trying. No, but seriously, I can't get the message out without you guys. I really appreciate it. See you again soon. Namaste.